Now, EFF supporters have started arriving at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban. That's where party leader Julius Malema will launch the election manifesto. Our reporter Juniour Khumalo is outside that stadium and joins us now. Junior, very good morning to you once again. As we count down the hours ahead of Julius Malema taking to the podium, what's the atmosphere like ahead of this launch?
What we can tell you from Moses Mabhida is that the gates are actually still closed. They were initially supposed to start being opened around 7 a.m. in the morning, but because of delays with the EFF security, let me just step out of the shot to show you, the EFF security and EFF personnel were preparing food parcels and T-shirts for the supporters, the thousands of supporters that are expected to come to the Moses Mabhida. As my colleague Luyanda shows you some of the images of the food parcels that have been prepared by the EFF for all of the thousands of supporters that are actually standing outside and ready to come into this stadium. So we spoke to the EFF Secretary General earlier on, about a few minutes ago, and he said that the gates are supposed to be open anytime from 8 o'clock. So we expect them to be open any minute from now, and all of these supporters that you see outside are expected to start coming into this place. So yeah, that is the current situation right now, Mpo.
So with all the supporters lining up and wanting to get in, I know you've interacted with some of them, a variation of young people, but I haven't really seen much of the older people. What is the breakdown insofar as the people who are preparing to get into that stadium? What kind of age groups are you looking at as you assess how many people are, as you assess the people who are looking to go into this stadium?
Yeah, I'm asking my colleague Luyanda just to get closer to show you the individuals that are outside. You will have rightfully put it, a lot of the people that are actually queued outside are very young South Africans that are here today. Majority, maybe it's because it's early in the morning, but we do have some older people as well who have turned out. But the majority is very young South Africans. We know that the IEC has spoken about challenges in terms of attracting young voters to come in, but here at the EFF's manifesto launch, it seems like a lot of the people that have turned out are young South Africans, but we also know that there has been threats from the radio personality Newzroom Afrika who threatened EFF supporters not to come in their numbers to this place. He actually said that there is going to be a rival concert that he's going to host. I think they called it a carnival, a traditional carnival that is actually happening a few meters from where we are. It's going to be starting also at around 10 o'clock. So there's also that event that is actually rivaling this EFF manifesto launch. So that is another challenge that the EFF has to deal with. Besides the delays in terms of opening the gates, there's also that issue. But the EFF has rightfully brought this manifesto launch to KZN, because we know that KZN is one of those provinces that are expected to be hotly contested in the 2021 local government elections. The ANC lost about 12 municipalities to a coalition of the EFF as well as the IFP. So it's expected that the ANC is going to have a tough time convincing voters from KZN to vote for the ANC. We know now that there's also the former President Jacob Zuma factor that is going to play a significant role here in KZN, with former President Jacob Zuma endorsing Umkhonto weSizwe. He has since been suspended by the ANC, and that causes another headache for the governing ANC party when it comes to the polls here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Mpo.
So in your interactions with some of the people who are coming there this morning, what are they looking forward to? What are their expectations ahead of this manifesto launch?
There are actually two things that the people that we spoke to spoke about. The main thing is that of unemployment. The young people here are saying that the unemployment level is unacceptable. Currently, the unemployment, according to the figures that were published last year in November, I think, it sits at around 36%, between 32 and 36% unemployment in South Africa, which is very high, significantly high to when this administration, the current administration, took over office. So they are pleading meeting with the EFF leader, Julius Malema, to outline what his plans would be in terms of dealing with unemployment should the EFF get into power this year. Another issue that they've spoken about was that of load shedding. We know that the country has been plunged back into the higher stages, stage 6 of load shedding. So South Africans are saying they are tired of load shedding as well. And yet another thing that they've been complaining about, especially here in KwaZulu-Natal, is service delivery. We know that this province has been hit by a lot of floods. There's been a lot of challenges that have challenged this eThekwini municipality in particular, and it seems to be crumbling under that pressure. We know that there was a motion of no confidence against the mayor, Kaunda, and he survived just a few weeks ago by a very small margin. So the young people here are saying that improve service delivery, deal with unemployment as well as load shedding. Paul.
Very well, Juniour Khumalo. Let's leave it there for now as we catch up with you throughout the course of this morning.